What's good, y'all? It's your boy, No Mercy 4K. Dewey Mercy, Educational Mercy in the building. Coming back at you another banger educational reaction video. Today we got another Kurzgesagt reaction. Are there lost alien civilizations here? Are there lost alien civilizations in our past? Interesting question. Let's check it out, bruh. Are there alien civilizations in our past? If you enjoy this reaction, want to see more educational mercy here on the channel ASAP, smash the like button on the video and subscribe if you're new. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and every single time you like and subscribe, it helps out a lot, bro. It's appreciate it. Let me know in the comments what you think about this reaction, though. I hope you enjoy. Let's get it. Are there lost alien civilizations in our past?
When we think about alien civilizations, we tend to look into the vastness of space to faraway planets. But there is another incredibly vast
in our past. Like, what do you mean by that? In our past?
Too little thought to. Time. Could it be that over the last hundreds of millions of years, other civilizations existed on Earth? Indigenous technological species that rose and died out, and that they or their artifacts are buried beneath our feet. What does science have to say about this, and what are the implications for us?
What does science have to say about this? Let's find out, chat. You know what I'm saying? By the way, if you don't know, I stream every single day. Link is in the description if you want to see live reactions.
For 4 billion years, mostly as single-celled organisms, until some 540 million years ago, the Cambrian explosion heralded the age of
540 million years ago. Holy shit!
For our indigenous aliens, where would we look for them, and what could we hope to find?
540 million years is crazy.
Sadly, we have only one civilization to look at: ourselves. Anatomically modern humans emerged around 300,000 years ago and probably lived in small groups of hunter-gatherers, slowly spreading around the world. Progress was slow and our lifestyle didn't change much, although there may have been local bursts of complexity. Until about 10,000 years ago, when the agricultural revolution changed our lifestyle forever, enabling massive population growth and technological progress. Rather than just animals with culture and tools that would have been invisible from space, we changed the face of the planet, cleared forests and constructed cities and temples for our gods at breathtaking speeds and scales. Until about 300 years ago, we became an industrial species, and yet again our numbers grew exponentially, as did our impact on the planet. We can say that our 300,000-year-long history has 3 phases. We were hunter-gatherers for 97%, farmers for 2.9%, and industrialists for 0.1% of our history.
That's crazy, bro. To see this as like put into like a visual perspective, like timeline. We were fucking hunters and gatherers for the majority of time, farmers for a little bit, and now we're just getting into the industrial period, bro. Imagine how long this industrial period is gonna last until, you know what I'm saying, niggas are taken over by robots.
For 0.1%
before the world is taken over by robots.
And yet, we are super new on Earth. On geological timescales, even the sturdiest things lose their durability. The oldest large-scale surface is the Negev Desert, a meager 1.8 million years old. Everything older has been crushed to dust or turned over, and it's either below the ground or covered by ice or ocean. Our age, the Anthropocene, will be a layer only a few centimeters thick in a few million years. If there were aliens before us, and they too went through these 3 phases, what would remain of them? What can we learn about indigenous aliens by looking at ourselves?
You think they're in our past?
Hunter-gatherer aliens.
Okay.
We actually know that in the last few million years there were hunter-gatherer aliens. Our ancestors like Homo erectus, and cousins like the Neanderthals or Denisovans, and probably many more that we haven't found yet or are lost to time.
Who said our ancestors? So how are they aliens?
Of their bodies, of weapons and tools, and even art.
How are they aliens if they're our ancestors?
How long they existed and how little remains of them, although they live not that far from our present, it's easy to think there have been others. Intelligent animals like us that could talk and use tools and fire, that had culture and art. For the last 2 million years, most hominins lived as hunter-gatherers. So if these aliens never moved up higher on the tech tree, hundreds of different species and cultures could have existed without leaving any traces. Their artifacts lost to biological and then geological processes. At worst, they would leave absolutely nothing to be found after thousands of years. But what about fossils? We talked about how unlikely the process of fossilization is in more detail in our dinosaur video. But in a nutshell, per 100,000 years of Earth's history, we only get a handful of good fossils. So we might easily just miss fossils of such people, but even if we had any, we wouldn't necessarily be able to identify them as hunter-gatherers. Agricultural and empire aliens. Looking at humans again, agricultural societies left much more to be dug up and found because they used more sophisticated tools made from sturdier materials and had to feed millions, leaving many more artifacts. Farming allowed them to specialize and develop tech from writing to navigation, architecture, and government. Over thousands of years, city-states became kingdoms and empires, some existing for millennia before they fell. Many of the buildings or monuments.
Bro, what type of shit? Bro, is this a fucking human history lesson, my nigga? Where's the alien shit?
Are still around, and traces
Where are the aliens?
exist for a few thousand more years. Some only as outlines in the ground, but still recognizable to future archaeologists.
Great Wall of China?
Pyramids are piles of limestone so
Pyramids
massive that they
pyramids
will
of
probably be
Egypt?
around for hundreds of thousands of years. And because of the greater numbers of humans that lived during our farm and empire period, we can expect way more fossils and artifacts to be detectable, maybe for a few million years before they vanish. So we can say with confidence that no such indigenous alien civilization existed in the last few billion years, because otherwise we would have found something that
We would have found some, okay.
This still leaves a window of hundreds of millions of years, back to the emergence of complex life where we wouldn't be able to tell. If there were alien pre-industrial societies and empires on the level of the ancient Romans or Chinese, they would have likely disappeared without a trace. Their tools, even advanced metals, would have rotted away. If they dug up canals, cleared forests, and built cities, their traces would be very hard to distinguish from nature.
Wow.
Maybe there was once an empire of cephalopods occupying impressive cities in swamps and lakes made from wood and stone.
So even if there was an alien civilization millions of years ago, we couldn't even know. It would have all been gone by now.
Maybe they never industrialized. Maybe their society was too stable or not inventive.
Chad, do you guys think there's an Atlantis, bro?
A single event like an asteroid, an epidemic, or an ice age could just have deleted their civilization.
Bro, there's probably a whole alien civilization underwater, bro. A whole Atlantis or some shit.
Sadly, we don't have the tiniest amount of evidence for any such civilization. After a few million years at best, their achievements would have dissolved into nothing. Industrial indigenous aliens.
Industrial aliens.
What about industrial civilizations like humanity today? Imagine humans died out suddenly through a pandemic or cosmic rays or something like that.
That's tough.
What would remain? Our impact on the planet is orders of magnitude greater than that of our ancestors. The fossil record will show a great extinction of wildlife and an explosion of fossils from human-associated animals like rats, cows, pigs, and chickens. Like the structures of our ancestors, skyscrapers and streets
Rats are
and
nasty.
hard drives will basically crumble into nothingness in a few millennia. But because there were so many humans everywhere, for a few million years
aliens was
after
there,
our
you
sun
never
end,
know.
there would
That's
be
the
clear
thing.
hints
Just like you
of
ain't know
our
they get right
existence.
now.
The byproducts of our industrial lifestyle might
There's mad
actually
parts of the
give us
ocean,
away
yeah,
for some
facts.
hundreds of millions of years.
We haven't searched.
We use
Bro, we have.
massive amounts
Bro, it's
of
like.
artificial fertilizer, which redirects Earth's flow of
Bro, it's
water
like.
that is being deposited
It's like,
in
come,
soil.
bro. There's a whole
Mining
fucking
metals
lake.
and rare earth
It's like a whole lake,
leaves
and you
long-term
take a
scars
fucking
and depletes natural
bucket of
resources.
water from a lake. That's what we searched of the whole
Separations with
ocean.
Plastics that find their way to the ocean floor and may persist for hundreds of millions of years. There are radioactive elements and their decay, unnatural
Plutonium,
accumulations of
curium,
elements
uranium.
that don't exist outside labs or weapons. And of course, in our short industrial history, we have changed the proportion of CO2 in the air by burning massive amounts of fossil fuels, increasing the acidity of the oceans, and so
Everyone
on.
told me mermaids ain't
We may
real.
already have left a mark
think
in
mermaids
the
are here?
geological record. So
You think there's
far, we
mermaids?
have found no traces of an industrial alien civilization. No layers of weird
For all we know, the
chemicals
mermaids
or
are the
distant
aliens, bruh.
stones. No radioactive
The
layer
aliens are
to
the mermaids,
indicate
who
that
fucking
once
knows?
great nations waged nuclear war. We do see mass extinctions and massive shifts in the fossil records, but no evidence that they did not occur naturally. And, ironically, we've hit upon an interesting problem here. If industrial societies stress the ecosystem enough to cause their own extinction, they won't be around that long. But if they become sustainable, their imprint on the geological record may be tiny. If past industrial civilizations were sustainable before they died out, we may have little to no chance of ever knowing about them.
Really?
In any case, over hundreds of millions of years, these signatures may become very subtle and get overlooked or interpreted as natural. Even if an industrialized alien society existed 200 million years ago and lasted for 100,000 years, 300 times longer than industrial humanity, it still might be easy to miss it in the geological record. In any case, all of this is speculation.
That's crazy.
In the end, we shouldn't use our imagination to trick ourselves into thinking we know anything about
Chat,
our blind
nothing lasts
spots.
forever.
Just assuming a thing happened
Nothing lasts
if we
forever,
don't
bro.
have
You see,
evidence
bro,
against it
in the
is
span
a
of things,
trap
we
should
live less than
avoid.
100 years.
So for now,
The Earth been here for
if we look
millions
at
and
the
hundreds of
vastness
millions.
time, it seems as devoid of aliens as the vastness of space. Maybe we are alone in this universe and always were. Maybe we'll find traces of others eventually, we don't know. But there is one important takeaway. The continuation of our civilization is not guaranteed. And if we're not careful, we may disappear forever. Let's hope that in a few million years, there isn't another civilization studying our layer in the fossil record.
Damn.
It's frustrating
That's
to know there are
tough.
so many things in our past we can't access. At least you can avoid that annoying feeling when it comes to other stuff you're interested in, like your favorite TV shows or movies.
Isn't this the guy from
It's
JoJo?
possible by going to nordvpn.com.
You know what I'm saying? W video. I guess even if there was aliens here before, bro, we will never know because the little Earth been here for too long and everything just disappears over time. Like, you know what I'm saying? You should know that nothing lasts forever. You should know that by now. But hope you enjoyed the reaction. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments. Smash the like button and subscribe if you're new here, bro. It helps out a lot. I hope you have a good rest of your day. And I'm out.